everyone, this is Press Play with A&A.
We're sisters.
I'm Errol.
I'm Amber, and today we're going to be talking about Freaky Friday.
Let's Press Play.
So this released on August 6, 2003. I'm the one that picked this. It's my week.
Yep.
And I picked it because it's super nostalgic. Okay, Errol has thoughts. I picked it for a couple reasons. Number one, yes, it is nostalgic. We had the DVD growing up, and I feel like we watched it a pretty good bit. Not a ton.
I don't really remember that.
But I do have specific memories. But I also picked it because Freakier Friday is coming out this year. I think we just read August 8th.
Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be fun to do this one first, and then when it comes out, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are excited about it because there hasn't really been kind of a movie with this vibe in a while. They say just a feel-good, kind of like comedy family movie. Which, I mean, honestly, when's the last time you've seen that? I mean, you haven't really seen that in a while. But yeah, so I picked it also because the second one's coming out this year. Well, my favorite movie of all time is The Parent Trap. And we did watch a lot of Lindsay Lohan stuff growing up. I have memories of watching this as a kid.
Okay.
I would list specific ones, but I don't know if they're exactly right.
Yeah.
And so, but I do have memories of watching this. So, getting into it, initial thoughts before you started playing it. What did you think? Or what did you think you were going to think about it?
I knew that I wasn't going to like it. Because I do remember, I remember us watching it, but I remember not liking this movie when we were younger. Even though you thought I did.
Well, you remember not liking it for you.
Yeah, but for me, I don't remember liking this movie. So I was like, oh no.
See, I do remember liking this movie as a kid. I'm not a big, and that gets me to kind of one of the questions is, are you big for switcheroo storylines? Where people
I think I just thought it was freaky. I don't think I ever really
You don't like
liked it.
that concept.
Yeah.
And that is a little tricky is, I think as a kid, I liked this movie maybe more because you're not taking so much, see as a kid when you're watching it, you're not taking out of the movie because you're not thinking about behind the scenes that they're not really switching bodies and things like that. You can see it more through a kid's lens of, oh, this is really happening, they've really switched bodies.
Yeah.
But then on the negative side to that, watching as a kid, is you completely missed the whole concept, I feel like, of the movie.
Maybe.
Because I was so young. I probably hadn't seen this movie since I was 8 or under, I would say. Yeah. And so being that young, I didn't get any of really what was happening. I knew they switched bodies. I completely forgot about what was happening with the mom's wedding and all the little jokes in between that you're just not going to get as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely surprised at some of
the stuff mentioned. I think flew
over our heads as kids.
But I do know that I did love the early 2000s vibes. You don't see any social media. You don't see any smartphones in this, laptops. You see all the mom's, digital planner and all of that in her phone. But I just like the feel of it. There was this vibe that I just really liked the vibe of it a lot.
Yeah. There's a lot of movies. Once again. I mean, there's a lot of movies
But not really. Okay, I know that this had some jokes and stuff or comments that we didn't like in this movie, but it was kept clean for the most part. I can't really think of an early 2000s, kind of movie like this, family, that reminds me of that.
I had to think, but I'm sure there are.
So anyways, jumping right into the beginning. So yeah, my initial thoughts were that I thought I was going to like it.
Yeah.
And your initial thoughts were you thought
I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like this movie.
I did think that I was going to be taken out of the movie a little bit with knowing the behind the scenes, that was obviously not them. I couldn't view it as a kid anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll kind of get more into that. But the opening song, immediately, it all came back to me in that opening scene.
Yeah.
So I don't know the exact title of the song. I've since listened to it on Spotify because I was like, this is so nostalgic.
Yeah.
But as the song was playing, I was like, oh yeah, she's about to lift her out of bed, her feet, and she's not gonna want to get out, and then she's gonna come out of her room being like she's done, and and then the mom's gonna be getting ready. I knew that all of that was gonna be a little montage, and it came back to me, and I really liked the opening scene.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I liked it.
Yeah, the song was good.
Lindsay Lohan, I will definitely say she did a great job at yes. I was like, I feel like this was one of the strongest things I've seen her act in. I know we like Parent Trap. This is
we love.
Okay,
Trap.
I don't really love it, but
oh my gosh, it's literally number one movie.
Slowest movie.
No, number one movie. Every scene in that movie is good. Nothing needs to be taken out.
I think this was one of her strongest performances. I think she did a great job in the fact of when she became, it was supposed to be the mom in her body. I think she did a great job. It really did feel like
that was the mom.
That was the mom. She did an amazing job. I mean, now, Jamie Lee Curtis, when she became Anna, I think a couple of times where I think she became a little bit too whiny as a teenager.
Which is interesting, so I think she said her daughter was on set for the beginning of it, and her daughter, I think, even said to reel it back a little bit, and she started to. But I think See, it was interesting because at first I had the opposite of what you're saying.
Okay.
I thought Jamie Lee Curtis was nailing the teenage side more than what Lindsay was able.
Oh,
Lindsay
really?
Lohan was doing fine
Yeah.
being the mom,
Okay.
but at first I was like, they weren't really her character. You know, she was supposed to just be more uptight, whatever. I guess because the mom, it was just so different to see her being crazy and like acting like a teenager.
Yeah.
But then watching it the second time around, I realized no, Lindsay did do good
Yeah.
with.
Oh,
being,
yeah,
like,
she did really good.
the mom
Okay.
in the sense of the dialogue. The reason how you know they're doing good is because there were moments in the movie where I was completely believing that they were in each other's bodies.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if you can take me out of it for a second,
Yeah.
then that means you're doing
Yeah,
your job.
that's how I say.
And so, like, for example, like one of my favorite quotes is when Anna, but it's the mom.
Yeah.
It's the mom in Anna's body.
Yeah.
She's talking to the friends or whatever, and they were like, yeah, your mom, like, you should be able to leave the rehearsal dinner or something like
Yeah.
that. And she's like, so you're the culprit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
did you remember that scene
Yeah.
or that whatever? And it was just
Yeah.
funny because that's what a parent would think. It was just funny.
Yeah.
But there was little moments like that where I was like, forgetting for a second that no, this is just Lindsay Lohan pretending to be the, acting. But
Well, no, yeah, and then, like I said, yeah, I mean, I think she did a great job at being able to portray the mom, like, that's
yeah,
supposed to be
and then
her
they
mom.
both did pretty good.
And I just say that Jamie Lee, I just think that,
Which then again, yeah, I guess actually when you think of it, I'm thinking of Jamie Lee just kind of acting like a teenager. I'm not really realizing that she was supposed to be acting like Anna.
Yeah.
but
And I don't think
sometimes she
Anna
got a little,
was as crazy as the
Yeah,
mom portrayed
that's what
her
I'm
to
saying,
be.
yeah.
it almost seemed like the parent thinking like, oh, this is how a teenager acts versus actually being like
Yeah, maybe
Anna.
you're right.
Because, like, even some
Yeah.
of the slang she used, like, chill dude, stuff like that, it's like, and now if we would have saw Anna say this to some of her friends earlier in the film, yeah, but I think that, and once again, I'm not
Oh,
saying
you're right. I didn't
Yeah.
think about it like
and
that.
once again, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I do think that it showed two different.
Yeah, I
things.
think it was funny seeing her act like a teenager, but
Yeah.
yeah, when you're thinking of Anna as the character, I don't think Anna was a little bit more serious,
Yeah,
more
she was.
dramatic.
Very, yeah.
She wasn't as in using a bunch of slang.
Yeah.
I mean, she would be like, shut up,
Yeah.
but, the teenage way, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Or that's how I saw it. And once again, I'm not saying that. I'm not putting down Jamie Lee's acting. I'm just saying that, I was just, saying that.
Did you prefer Anna as Anna in the mom's body scenes or the mom in Anna's body scenes?
Though I would definitely say
So like her at the
Anna
school taking her test with the guy, or
the mom in Anna's body.
The mom
yeah,
in Anna's
because once
body.
again, Lindsay Lohan just killed it. Once again, if this is what I said, if this movie would have just been the mom and the daughter switching bodies, leave out all the guys, the male teacher, the stupid boyfriend Jake, which I know we'll talk about him. And honestly, the fiance could have just came in at the end when it was rehearsal dinner. If they would have left out the male stuff, I would have probably liked this movie so much better because
except leave the little brother.
the little brother was cute. Yeah, the little brother's fine. And even the grandpa could be taken out. Like I said, the men
The
in
grandpa,
this
yeah,
film,
the grandpa could be
it was the
taken out.
men in this film that kind of ruined it for me. And
I will say Jake to me didn't ruin it as much. It was wild.
What? Are you
Some of the-
kidding?
No.
Oh,
It was
God.
wild, some of the stuff, and I do not agree with age gaps. And if it would have been something that was looking at as like condoning or something like that, but because it wasn't condoning it at all. If they were condoning like the age gap thing, like Jake, don't get me wrong, Jake was crazy in this. Like he shouldn't be with Anna at the end because he wish-washed way too much. I mean, first you're in
Yeah.
love with her mom or
Yeah.
liking her mom, and then you're
100.
gonna just go back to her because you saw
Yeah.
her hit a note on a guitar, or
Yeah.
not a note, but a chord on a guitar,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't love Jake to be with her at the end. He wasn't bad though. He made it funny. Like some of the stuff was funny with him.
No.
Like
I
when
just
he's
didn't like him.
singing "Baby One More Time" and then she runs into him and knocks
but
him
I
down.
was just like, dude's gross.
Yeah, I mean, no, he
Yeah.
shouldn't. He obviously should not have been hitting on her mom at all.
Yeah.
But
just made it
wasn't
cringe.
condoned.
It
It wasn't
made-
condoned.
I'm not saying it was condoned, but it just made it cringe at that point. Like I was just ready. I was like, if I was watching this by myself, I would have turned it off or at least fast forwarded that part. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want a movie where you're just like,
I want to have fast forwarded.
If I ever
Because it was really just started to be at the very, I think we had 30 minutes left when we had stopped at that time and picked it back up, and that's when he started having that stuff with more of the mom, like Anna in the mom's body.
it just wasn't
And
not
so-
watchable. It was so hard to get through that scene.
All the stuff with
Without-
him at the school and like helping her with her tests and all that, that could all be kept in. Like all of that, because that
I still
wasn't-
didn't like him though. I mean, because even before they switched bodies, and he's talking to Anna outside, and then all of a sudden the teacher calls her over and she says 1 second or whatever, a minute, and then he just walks off and goes on the bike. Now I know that we found out later on he has to go to a job, but I'm just saying in that moment he was kind of rude to just take off. I'm like, bye.
See you
See, and
later.
I actually
Don't
had
care.
I had that written down too, but I also wonder if because the teacher he could overhear, like maybe he didn't want to be standing there and him be like, oh, that's a bad influence, or oh, like, or get her in trouble more with the teacher, or like maybe he thought that she should pay attention to what the teacher was saying. I don't know.
I just didn't like Jake. He just character didn't. And once again, when it got to the end, because to me, and I know we'll talk about more of like the whole reception stuff. I think there was a lot of emotion built up. I think that was a great scene. I think it was emotional. It was good. And then you go straight to the wedding then, and then I'm like, we didn't need Jake. I think the mom and daughter hugging in that moment, and then they could have just been dancing.
Yeah,
her
I feel like
friends
we should have
performing.
saw more of like maybe if her and Jake could have danced or something, but not kiss, not like be together, because technically Jake doesn't even know they had that conversation.
I
He
think-
thinks that that was still the mom.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't agree with like them kind of being a couple at the end. At all.
I just wish he wasn't
But,
in the movie.
I mean, I wouldn't put him in my trash pile.
I did.
Okay, so you're calling him trash.
Yeah.
Talking about more of the deeper stuff in the movie,
Okay.
it did like being able to understand it as an adult. It did hit on emotional things like the brother thing when
Yeah.
he wrote the essay.
Yeah.
And then she's in like the mom's body and she able like he's like don't tell Anna or whatever,
Yeah.
but she's obviously is Anna.
Yeah,
I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah, I did think that was sweet.
And then I thought it was even really emotional at the end with like
Yeah.
the mother-daughter stuff.
Yeah.
And what I loved is that the mom was very strict at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like too much.
But
for me.
not too bad.
No, too much for me as in if you take away someone's door, that to
Yeah,
me
the door
that is
thing was
really that is a boundary. No, that is not something that is in the
Yeah, the
parenting
door thing
guidebook
was-
for good parents. No way.
Yeah.
Taking away the door, so like all
Which
of
I was
that
a little
stuff-
surprised with her being a therapist that why she
Yeah.
took the door. I don't know.
To me, and some people actually said that online too, is that the mom they felt at the beginning was like way too harsh. Of like the way like she's supposed to be a therapist, but she isn't really trying. Like even when she opened up about liking Jake, and she said that she met him in detention, but it wasn't really because he was in detention. It's because he worked at the school. Is what it ended up being.
Well,
talked
she
about.
said she had met him in detention though.
Well, while she was in detention.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not him.
Which I mean, I think any parent's reaction would have been like, "Oh, that's
Well, yeah,
weird."
but-
I mean, let's just be honest. the
But then
parents
she like
must have
kind of
been-
laughs and she goes, "Oh, that's great." You
Yeah.
know, while her daughter is trying to open up and be honest.
Well, yeah,
And like
no, I
her
agree.
daughter is being truthful about the teacher
Yeah.
out to get her and things like that. So what was really good though about the mom playing it harsh at the beginning was that then it made it so much better when she realized, nah, high school isn't easy for
Yeah.
Anna and the teacher is out to get her
Yeah.
and the band is important to her
Yeah.
and like all this stuff, you know?
Which, it was mentioned before that, the mom said that, she did let her have guitar lessons growing up. She also lets her have a specific amount of time in that
Until 6
garage.
o'clock.
And, I mean, they decorate the whole garage as their band thing. So the mom is supportive, but she does have boundaries of, like, you don't want them to be rocking and rolling all night, right? So I don't think that was bad. And even the fiance mentions that, she always wants to be supportive of Anna. And he's like, you want to be there type thing. Even though it was technically still Anna in the
Well, yeah, I
mom's
didn't say the
body.
mom wasn't supportive.
Oh, well,
She was just
yeah.
really harsh at the beginning to where
Yeah.
it's like,
That was a little much, like with the
Yeah.
door being taken off, and she needs to listen to his daughter's thoughts. Like, if she's talking about a teacher, go and have a meeting with that
Yeah.
teacher and
Yeah.
see, does that teacher have a problem with you? Because
Yeah.
then, if she would have had a meeting with the teacher, she would have saw that he still had a grudge against her not going to some school dance with
Yeah.
him. So, but then it made it so much, I guess, better when the mom, because the mom makes comment to her like, "Oh, it would be so easy to be in your shoes for a day," or basically,
Yeah.
this movie is basically the concept of walk a mile in each other's
Yeah.
shoes.
and see how
Yeah.
it is.
And I don't, and once again, like you said,
And I
there's
really like
obviously
that.
the extremes at the beginning, and then and then obviously they learn through each other. Because even Anna's a little extreme at the beginning. I'm like, okay, girl, you can calm down just a little bit. Like, she is letting you have the garage for a certain amount of time, for example.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but she's
and
really,
girl,
but,
you are
but
making the
she's
bad
having the
grades.
garage she's making the bad grade because that teacher, she has good
Other
grades and
than-
everything else. I
Now, in
think.
that class, yes. But then in gym class, she's still going to detention every
Okay,
day.
now she
So
was
I'm just
defending
saying.
herself
Yeah,
because
you
the
know,
girl was hitting her in the head with the volleyball.
Yeah,
Unless she's gonna tell her mom about that one and be like, okay,
Like, she
you
has
know,
reasonings. Like, she's not a bad
yeah.
person, because
Yeah.
then even Jake mentions that, you know, when the mom in Anna's body changes the test for that girl,
Yeah.
I think Stacy,
Yeah.
and erasures all her answers, Jake is like, I didn't know you were like that, because that's something Anna wouldn't probably do.
Maybe.
So
Yeah.
even the mom realized that the mom might even think more extreme stuff. Being in
Yeah.
high school, it led her to go high school pettiness level
Yeah.
and even do something to Stacy's thing, when in reality, Anna wouldn't have even done
Yeah.
that. So I think she learned to give her daughter a little bit more credit for her
I
character.
agree. Like I said, I mean, yeah, like you said, it's like the walk the mile in someone else's shoes. And like I said, if it would have been more focused on just them in this movie, I probably would have liked it more. I didn't like the guys in it. Obviously the grandfather, I just didn't care for some of his comments. He wasn't really much needed, honestly.
Yeah, the grandfather was just kind of, I guess, a
Yeah.
character to be there with the kid
Yeah.
in some scenes. He
Yeah.
wasn't really needed.
Yeah.
Also, that's when we get in, I guess if you're talking about the guys, we were talking about Jake. The teacher, yeah, was
Creep.
a creep.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he got put in his place.
Yeah, but once again, I just wish to have a more enjoyable movie. I just wish it wasn't there because it's just creep.
Yeah, but at least she put him in his place.
I mean, I get it, but once again, if I'm gonna sit there
and he wasn't in it a lot.
I'm not saying he wasn't in a lot, but it's just enough to where it's like I'm not rewatching this movie again. And the fiance,
I didn't like him at all, and here's why.
Okay.
He acted like he was the mom's parent. Like he was grumpy the whole movie. He did not seem happy. He's about to get married, and he seemed almost annoyed. Like even when she went to the book, like he got on that interview, he made sure to say 2 times, yeah, I got you on this. I got you on this. Then he was upset when she was a little bit, obviously that was Anna in the mom's body, but then he was upset when she was kind of acting crazy with the audience, but everyone else was enjoying it, but he was acting like he was kind of like, okay. But then what really got to me was the rehearsal dinner, when Anna as the mom was like, you know, I guess she had called him out or something for maybe thinking the band wasn't good or whatever. And then the way he talks to her, though, at the end, when he's like, you know, I can't do this if you're going to make me out to be, like, this bad guy. And, like, the way he just gets upset at her, I didn't like. The way he spoke to her, if you go back and watch it, he spoke to the mom in a very childish manner.
Oh, I didn't see
And
it
I
that
didn't
way. I
like
mean,
it.
this is like once again, like I said, if the guys would have been more taken out, like to me, I'm just like, I like the opening scene whenever he first shows up, and then they're in the kitchen, whatever. Honestly, if he would have just been taken out of the rest, and then they should have just shown up at the reception, it would have been fine. But yeah, I mean, but this is the thing. You have to understand, when it was building up, like once they switched bodies, like he does see her act differently than what she had. Not only does she change her style, which is fine, a woman can do that, but then she's also riding on the back of a bike with the guy that he's like, what? You know, she is crowd surfing. And once again, I'm not sitting there and saying like that's enough for him to like be very upset with her, but it is enough for him to be like, what's going on? Is this only because, I mean, we're only like 2 days from the wedding type thing?
Which I
It
understood
is
that for the
enough.
motorcycle, and they had that conversation, and the
Yeah.
mom in Anna's body kind of covers for her.
Yeah.
Makes some excuse, and that was fine.
Yeah.
It was just the in-between stuff where he didn't barely smile throughout any of it.
Oh.
Like, and
I
then,
don't know.
I don't know, he just seemed grumpy about
I
everything.
don't think he really
I
seemed
called
grumpy.
him a grumpy pig.
I didn't really see him as grumpy. I mean, maybe he just, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really see. I mean, I thought his character was fine.
The girl that played in the Cinderella story as the mean girl, I forgot her name.
Yeah.
I was going to say Meredith. No.
She plays Stacy in this one.
I know,
right?
but what was her name in
Oh.
the Cinderella story?
Oh,
It was just funny how she played in
forget.
this, and also Chad Michael Murray played in this, and
Yeah.
then they end up being the couple in the
Yeah.
Cinderella story, which was a year later, and then the whole, like, Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff feud,
Yeah.
and they came out a year
that's pretty funny.
apart. So
That's
it's
funny.
funny how
Okay.
that happened. But yeah, so I said, like, so much of the movie was coming back to me, like, bit by bit, like the volleyball scene, and then her having specifically the board around her neck going to detention, and then switching lunches with the lady.
Yeah.
All of that was just so familiar that it did hit a really nostalgic thing in me. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, like, I think I would literally watch it again just for nostalgic purpose. Thought that the body switching was going to bother me a lot more,
Yeah.
but it didn't bother me as much as I thought, because you actually kind of got this deep message
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
thought.
I did like it.
Yeah, I'll say that too. I did think the body switching was gonna be the reason why I didn't like it, but it was only because of the male characters that I actually didn't like it. Other than the brother. I mean, I know he's a male character, but he was fine. It was because of the other grown males that I did not care about that
Yeah.
kind of ruined the movie for me in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think any of the male characters ruined the movie for me. The teacher was definitely creepy, and I'm glad he got put in his place. Jake didn't annoy me that much.
He annoyed me.
The
so
grandpa was barely in it, and
Yeah.
the only one that really annoyed me was the guy she was marrying.
much. We're on like two different things.
I think his name was Ryan.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I didn't care for him.
Yeah.
There were some problematic things,
Okay.
and so
Yeah.
the first one is her saying that she will end her life,
Which is a
and then the
teenage
kid,
thing.
and then the kid saying,
thing
"Can I
that-
watch?"
Yeah.
So just like that
Yeah.
is mentioned. Also, the whole like scene where she's eating French fries, and they're talking about like it goes to your thighs and all that. I mean, maybe that's a real conversation you would
Yeah.
just like.
Which I thought it was also just because the fact that I thought the mom was almost meaning it in a way she couldn't have them for also other health reasons. I don't know.
No, I think it was just because she said it'll go to her thigh or
Are
whatever.
you sure?
Go to her-
Okay,
it was
maybe.
Just for that, because she said that, but it won't affect your teenage body. And then when she eats it, she goes, "Oh, I haven't had it in 8 years. That's
Okay.
unhealthy. Like, come on,
Okay.
if you want to fry within 8 years, eat a fry.
Unless someone can't.
Unless you
someone
can't, but the mom was making it sound
Okay.
like
It was a weight thing.
Oh, okay.
not
okay.
a health
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Obviously, the Jake stuff, it seems problematic. Obviously, like it really is Anna in the mom's body, but yeah, it got uncomfortable.
I
for
mean,
a
it
little
was
bit of
still,
that,
but you
especially
also,
in the cafe.
but you also have to remember he didn't know that.
Yes, but to me, I just see him as
the
a
dumb
he would.
kid.
He definitely needed no boundaries. He should not have followed her to her house
Yeah.
or the rehearsal dinner
Yeah.
or even the wedding.
Yeah.
Like he shouldn't have
Yeah.
done all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, he even followed her to the concert because he heard she was probably going to go support
Yeah.
Anna,
I know.
and so he was definitely became a stalker.
Yeah.
But it was almost supposed to be seen in a funny way.
I just didn't like it.
I don't find it funny, but you know, Amber's just like whatever.
I mean,
but
he
I'm
wasn't
just-
terrible. I thought
Oh,
some
I
of the stuff
still
was
didn't
funny.
like
The
him.
most uncomfortable scene though was the bike scene, and the cafe scene made me super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because how close they were sitting and all of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
The butt showings.
Oh yeah, there was two, like it showed the mom's butt
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
a guy
Just
saying
wasn't
he signed
expecting
my
it.
butt. It was and we don't like.
We didn't really need it. I mean, was this Disney thing released?
Yeah, it's Walt Disney. It's not
I
Disney
was a
Channel.
little bit
It's
surprised, I guess.
Walt
it was
Disney
in the-
stuff sometimes can have whatever, but yeah, I mean
Yeah.
those two things too. I can't think of anything else that was super problematic. I mean, obviously the teacher was a creep and all that,
Yeah.
but we've already been through kind of all the creepy
Yes.
things. I will say I don't know if it was problematic of like her being a therapist and like listening to the people's problems. I didn't know if they were making fun of that guy for having so many issues. I think it was just supposed to be a comedy moment. But the guy who's making sure that she calls him all the time, or that she's able to answer the phone if he has to call,
Yeah.
and him almost having like a panic attack. I don't want people to think that that's almost attacking them if they go to therapy and they're kind
Okay.
of,
Yeah.
if they do have anxiety and
That's
have
true.
that.
That's
You
true.
know, it can almost feel like they're being made fun of,
Yeah.
right?
Which I mean, I know
But-
the mom was trying to tell him that she would, but yeah, I get
Help
what you're
him out.
saying of if the people were putting it in the movie as a comedy.
I think it
relief
was
type
supposed to
thing.
be like
Yeah,
comedy.
I mean, yeah, but once again, you also have to think. Obviously, mental health is definitely viewed a lot more serious today. So
Well, yeah, I was just
maybe-
saying, calling it out of like
Yeah.
that would be something that you're not gonna find that in Freakier Friday, unless
No,
you do.
Yeah, hopefully not.
But I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
know.
you're probably not gonna find that
Yeah.
in like a newer
Yeah.
one where it's kind of a joke about mental health.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But that's all. Any other problematic things?
Not that I can remember. I think I've said most of.
Okay, so moving
The
on to
negative
something
stuff.
good. Let's move
Yeah.
on to the music. So the band was called Pink Slip. Did you like the songs?
I mean, I get that when we heard them, they were definitely like, oh yeah, I remember hearing them when we watched the
It's
movie.
really just two songs. And
But
really
they're
only
not
one
my
is actually from
vibe.
the album.
I mean, they're my vibe of music.
See, a lot of people love the song called Ultimate or
Yeah.
The Ultimate,
Yeah.
which is the one that's sang at the wedding.
Yeah.
See, I wish there was a full version and it was put on the album because it wasn't the one that they actually sing
And when
in the garage and at the Wango Tango.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Rango Tango.
Okay.
Wango Tango, I think is what
Okay.
it's called. Hopefully I got that right.
Yeah.
But I wish there was a full version of that, but that's not put on the soundtrack. The Ultimate is a little boring.
Yeah.
Not boring. It's still good, but to me I liked the other one better, especially with the guitar solos. So a little fun
Yeah.
fact is that that song wasn't, from what I've read, that song wasn't supposed to be at the end of the movie.
Okay.
But Lindsay Lohan had actually took guitar lessons to learn for the movie, but they were
Okay.
like, we're actually not going to have you do that solo moment in that song.
Oh.
But
She
she's
was like,
I
"Please?"
did practice this and learned all of
Yeah.
this. I want something. So from what I know is that's actually her playing
Okay.
in the Ultimate, I
Okay.
think.
Or they
because
put
they
her-
added that in for her.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually her, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that
If
is-
she
yeah.
earned it for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I obviously prefer like the garage song that they also performed at that other place, because the guitar solo is really good.
Yeah.
I love electric guitar. Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll give that a like electric guitar break. That's in 80 songs when there's like instrumental breaks. I do really like that.
I'm just not much into that style of music, but I mean, I get it. It's kind of
Yeah,
like,
you don't really like punk
Yeah.
rock or like pop
Yeah.
rock.
but I mean, I
even.
get it for the movie. You know, I get it for the movie.
Well, I like it, and I heard that Peak Slit will be making an appearance in the new one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting
So,
if they
with the original people coming back, I
Yeah.
think at least some of them.
yeah.
So a part of this movie is like the mom trying to. I feel like she was almost putting it on Anna that there's something deep within about her, like not wanting the mom maybe to get married to the guy Ryan because the dad had died. I feel like they didn't really go too
Yeah,
much
they
into
didn't
that.
go into that.
And so at the
No.
end, when they were like, which I'm kind of glad for. At the end, though, you do get the emotion behind it when she's in the mom's body giving the toast, and she's like, we had something really rough happen a few years ago. I mean, I feel like it was okay. You didn't have to empathize it too much, but I feel like the mom at first was really just putting it on the daughter.
Yeah, maybe a
Like, did the
little
daughter feel that way?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like she was just going through so much else
bit. Yeah.
that.
Which it's also the fact
fact of, like, I'm surprised it also wasn't explained a little bit because you see the mom and how busy she is. She has like, I don't know, how many phones was that? 5 or something?
Yeah.
So to me, I thought it was going to be more of the mom also realizing like, maybe I do pile too much on myself with work and maybe I have almost neglected some of that time with my kids.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be kind of brought up in some way, but it kind of wasn't. Because then, like I said, the only thing we get at the reception was then the fiance being like, you want to be there, so go, type thing. Like,
Because I think that
you
would
know.
have then went against what you said about her being a supportive mom.
well, yeah, or I was meaning
Because obviously she knows her kids' lives in a sense.
yeah. I thought it would be more of like, oh, maybe Anna's acting out because maybe you just haven't spent enough time with them type thing. Like maybe
I
you
didn't think it was
stuff,
gonna
maybe.
be like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I was just thinking.
I mean, it still was an emotional moment at the end with the toast and stuff, though, and it was good.
Yeah.
At the end, though, when they go to switch bodies back, though, I did think, like, we were going to see, like, bigger, like, spears or something, like, but it just was the camera work.
Yeah, no.
Um,
No.
yeah. I guess that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Do you think the mom and daughter had a stronger bond at the end? Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even
Yeah.
going to ask you that because
Yeah.
they definitely had. And that was what's really sweet, is it, like, it is a good movie if you're watching it as a kid with your parent or as a teenager.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel like, oh, my parents understand me and vice versa. And I feel like this is a good movie to watch with your parent or parents. And, when you're feeling like, oh, I have so much drama going on in my life as a
Yeah.
teenager.
Yeah.
And then parents, if they're like, oh, well, I would take anything to go back to high school days. Those are the
Yeah.
golden years.
Yeah.
But it's like, high school's more rough and things like that.
I
So it
mean,
was kind of nice.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if it would have been mostly the mom and daughter type thing, and then obviously the brother, I would have been fine with the movie. I just didn't like a lot of the guys, and I'm not a hater on guys. I just didn't like them in this film.
But did you have a favorite character then? You're basically saying Anna.
Anna stood out to me, and once again,
But
just 'cause Lindsay did such a
Anna,
great
so
job.
you're not saying Anna, you're saying
Lindsay
the
Lohan.
mom as
Lindsay
in Anna's
Lohan's
body.
Lindsay Lohan's
playing the
acting.
mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite character, honestly, the little brother was though really funny.
Yeah, he was. Funny.
He was,
Yeah.
and he was really cute.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I liked both the Anna stuff and the mom stuff.
Okay.
The mom stuff got a little bit more weird because you
Yeah.
had those moments where like even the husband was trying to kiss her, and then
Yeah.
the new look and like more of the adult stuff.
Yeah.
So it was safer to watch more of the mom or the Anna. Yeah, no, the mom being Anna. Because it was just high school stuff. And I also wanted the mom to see how hard high school actually was
Yeah.
for Anna. So I guess what you said, Lindsay playing the mom in Anna's body.
Yeah.
Well, that can get all complicated. So let's talk about some of like the iconic scenes and some of your favorite scenes.
Okay.
Obviously when they get the fortune cookies and they argue and
Yeah.
then they switch bodies the next day.
Yeah.
The opening scene. I know you already
Yeah, the
mentioned
opening
that.
scene. Obviously there's a lot of iconic scenes I feel
Yeah.
like of even just the music scenes.
Yeah.
I liked one of my favorite scenes, which I guess you already said it, was when Anna, or it's not the mom, but it's Anna is supposed to be in the mom's body when she goes to the parent meeting, and then she finds out about the little brother. I thought,
yeah,
once again,
that's
I
one of
like
my
that.
favorite scenes.
Yeah. And then them walking away, and then
Like
afterwards,
kicking each
yeah,
other a little bit
yeah.
and like playing around. I thought
Yeah.
there was a lot of some of the comedy moments. It was really funny. I was laughing throughout this whole movie.
Oh.
And like even with the brother when she got mad at him, Anna got mad at him and like I guess tied his underwear, I don't know, around
Yeah,
his face.
yeah.
And the mom, he kept like squirming because
Oh,
she was
yeah.
picking them up. Like little
Yeah.
things like that were just really funny to me.
Yeah.
And I did laugh throughout all of this. There was a lot of random stuff
Yeah.
and the stuff that wasn't problematic I thought was funny.
Okay.
So yeah, that was one of the questions is, did this movie make you laugh?
Up and down.
Because you were so like, you were just focused on like the Jake stuff
And
Yeah.
the teacher and
Yeah.
you just couldn't really enjoy it.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Well, that's sad.
Well, because like I
But-
said, I mean, I know you mentioned the brother having the underwear on his head, but what other funny moments you talking about?
I was just laughing throughout all of it. I mean, even just seeing them be each other, like, again, little moments like her, like, the mom being, or in Anna's body, even saying, like, you're the culprit, like, little things like that.
Okay.
And then even then Anna being the mom, like, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
Oh,
remember-
you're just finding
Just
it
the
funny.
whole thing,
Oh.
like there was funny moments.
Oh, okay.
Like, the whole thing was more, it felt very lighthearted with deep moments. And I feel like it was really well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, listen, once again, the mom and daughters thing, yes. I just, once again, the other characters ruined it for me. I hate that. I hate that.
I don't think they ruined it for me. Which I will say, like, some of the stuff in this of, like, talking about, you know, it talked about, like, bodies, like, when the mom first wakes up in Anna's body and she, like, touches her backside and things like that. I'll get icky on that because I just know, like, that's Lindsay filming that.
Yeah.
So I always get creeped out, like, when it is talking about teenagers filming stuff. It's,
Yeah.
like, you know, like how you said that the teacher creeped you out
Yeah.
because you're thinking of, like, Lindsay Lohan playing those parts with
Yeah.
him. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, there was a little bit of like creepy vibes here and
Yeah.
there throughout the movie,
Yeah.
but it wasn't enough for me to not like the movie.
Yeah.
If it would have had those vibes throughout the whole thing,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah.
But to me, it didn't. It had a
You-
grocery shopping scene. I had to point that out because I always say that
Yeah.
grocery shopping is like something you just don't see a lot of characters do in
Oh.
movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
And it's just such like a human thing to do,
Oh.
or like a normal
Yeah.
person thing to do.
Yeah.
And I like seeing it. I like when people are like just going grocery shopping. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And so she grocery shopped in this. I saw like fall decorations, so I wonder if this was supposed to be like a fall movie.
Well, you know. Yeah, probably.
But then even
I
the
mean,
funny scene of her being on the phone and going up to that lady, but she's not really talking to the lady. When she's like, "You are strong and
Oh,
independent,
yeah.
you don't need a
Yeah,
man."
no.
Little things like that. But then I thought it was kind of mean how she just was like, "Goodbye."
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of mean.
Yeah.
But before that, it was nice. I feel like we're missing
Quotes.
something.
Do you have any? To me, I don't think there was any memorable quotes from the movie, unless you have something. I feel like it was more of
Oh
moments.
my gosh, you know what? I actually don't think this is the first movie I haven't written a quote
I feel
down.
like they didn't have.
I only
any
wrote down one
quotes.
quote actually.
Okay.
And it was actually from the guy who needed therapy.
Oh, okay.
This morning was good, but then I got up.
Oh.
I just thought that was funny because he was funny. Like,
Yeah.
as in, you know, not laughing at him, but with him because, dude, I mean, everyone goes through
You know, I would've
their
rather-
anxiety and panic
I would have
moments.
rather Evan came to the wedding at the end versus Jake.
Evan wasn't at the wedding?
He should have been.
They didn't invite him?
They should have invited him to the
I
wedding.
mean, I guess professional boundaries. I don't know if you can really
That's true.
Invite your patients.
That's true.
Did this make you want to watch the sequel that's coming out this year in August?
I'm worried about it. I mean, listen, I don't know. We'll see.
Based on
I-
the trailer, it's gonna be with her daughter's friend, the mom. It's gonna be like a four-way type
I mean,
thing.
it looks like, obviously, maybe it's just going to be more of the women in this.
And
so,
but
hey, maybe.
guess what I heard?
What?
You're not gonna like this.
I don't want to know. Please tell me no Jake.
Someone walked into the casting room and everyone said it. There's some hilarious stuff that they all were like, I don't think they were expecting this person to show up.
What?
Chad Michael Murray is back,
Oh, no.
and they said Jake is coming back, and there's some
No.
really funny stuff they said with him.
You're
I don't-
kidding.
I'm
You're
not kidding.
Oh.
I'm literally not kidding.
Oh, no.
They said this. I watched an interview with it, so
We'll see.
I'm wondering if the daughter ends up getting in Anna's body, like her mom, and the mom ends up in her daughter. If Jake is then flirting with Anna, and it's basically the same situation in this first movie, but instead it's Jake is like what the stepdad's gonna be in this movie, and it's the daughter in Anna's body, and Jake is more of like how the stepdad was in this movie, where he's confused because.
Maybe.
But then
Maybe.
that's gonna get weird real
Yeah, I
quick.
don't know.
So hopefully not. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, but there's also the mom, Jamie Lee Curtis, who she's
Yes.
switching bodies with someone
I think
too.
probably the friend, unless she is switching bodies with the daughter, unless she switches body again with Anna. I know
Or
that they
is
all.
Anna and the friend switching bodies and the grandma and the granddaughter switching bodies? Is that how?
Well, I guess you would have to think about what do they have to learn.
Yeah.
What would Anna have to learn by going into her daughter's best friend's body? I feel like that's kind of a violation.
Why is the friend being added into the family anyways? Wouldn't that be a violation? She's
Yeah,
like,
maybe actually the daughter doesn't have any. Well, no, because obviously they all have to switch for it has to be an even number.
I don't remember what the trailer was like. I don't know. I'd have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hoping to say that I hope Jake wasn't in the film, but now you're saying
Yeah, he's gonna be in it.
That stinks.
He's coming back. I
I
don't know
mean,
for how long.
Hey, it's been, how many years has it been? Like 20-something years since the movies? Maybe Jake has changed. He's grown up, right? So.
Yeah, he's now into grandmas. I'm kidding. No.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Oh crap, he ended up with
Wait. No. Could you imagine that? No, he's not liking Anna anymore. He's old enough now to realize he has always liked the mom or
Oh
something.
no. Well, what about
No.
Ryan? Is Ryan
Yeah,
Gonna be in it?
I don't think Ryan is good.
the little brother?
I don't know.
No, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, but I don't know. I don't know. That could get really creepy or freaky at least.
It is Freakier Friday, so
Yeah.
it's freakier than the first one.
I think we're gonna have to watch the trailer after this so I can see what it.
Yeah, maybe we'll watch the trailer.
Yeah.
I am curious, and I wonder, will they kind of, everyone's saying they're looking forward to it because of the movies we've got in the last recent years, of like Barbie was sometimes a letdown for people. You're getting
Yeah.
more of these action movies too. You haven't had a good
Kind of reboot
2000s rom-com, or not rom-com even, because it's not really a romance, but like this family movie. You really haven't gotten one in a while that's supposed to just be for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no, I agree
so-
with that. I can
And
agree
people
with
are
that.
excited because they think it's just
But
going
they
to be
gotta
something
do it
nice. They were
right.
like, let's make movies like this again, where it's something feel good for people.
But it's also about the fact is, I hope that it's done right. A lot of movies that have come out, quality has sucked. Let's just be honest. So let's just hope the quality's there.
The Gorge was good.
Well, I mean, The Gorge was okay, but
Fossa was good.
I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't really.
I don't know. I have high hopes for it.
Yeah.
But do I think it'll be as good as the original? No. Because I don't think you can match that early 2000s vibe. And you're like,
Hey,
and
hopefully
then-
it might be better.
I don't know.
Cause like I said, the guys.
I know that there's
ruined it
probably
for
going to
me.
be technology and like it's going to feel still like a this generation thing. Her daughter's obviously in not a millennial, it's a Gen Zer, I think. You know, so it's going to be probably even maybe her understanding this generation. Maybe this is going to like bridge a gap between generations. It's going to be deep as in like, you know, Anna grew up, we saw her growing up in that generation, early 2000s. Now we're getting a movie about her daughter, and she's going to be growing up in this generation. Maybe it's going to be something like that.
And they're gonna be like, she's like, I'm working on my TikTok over here.
Yeah, that's from a TikTok. Of like, Mom, even though you're my body, can you keep my TikTok and my Snapchat streak
And she's gonna be like, yo, you can't dance like that in my TikTok. Wait a minute.
yeah, I don't know. See, they might be trying to do something like that, which it could be good, you know, because a lot of people make fun of this newer generation,
Yeah.
and
If,
you know,
like I said,
it's-
if they get quality writing, it could be really good.
yeah.
And
And
it
so,
will
and
be
I heard
interesting.
that they said that it was with a female director this time, and they said that
Okay.
they all were able to put an input in
That'll be
and
good.
feel more comfortable with putting an input in, and they really
Okay.
got to have a say
Okay.
in what was being done.
That should
So-
be good. That kind of. I mean, hey, I might like that one better than this movie.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. And
Any other? I feel like we went through this one quickly though. Like, did we miss anything?
I don't know. I think we did pretty well. I mean, do you have any other thoughts you felt other than looking at your notes? Was there anything else you wanted to say?
No, I mean, I know this movie has some problems, and I wouldn't watch it all the time.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be in like a top 20 movies for me of all time or
Yeah.
something. But I would watch it again. Like, would I press play again? Yes. Would you press play again?
No. I mean, if anything,
Like before
If
the new
you-
one comes out, like right before it, I might watch it again.
if you were Alyssa or watching it, maybe I would step in here and watch
Alyssa's our other
along,
sister.
Yeah.
but I don't think I'd ever replay this by myself again. I mean, listen, like I said, there were a couple of the scenes that were good, and I get what you're saying, nostalgic, because it's like, oh yeah, I remember that happening. Like, I remember watching this when I was younger. The guys ruined it. I'm sorry, the men in this movie ruined it for me, and it made it too cringe to where I'm just like, ugh. can't watch it. I want a movie where it's like I can play it from beginning to end, and I'm like, it's good.
I don't know. I liked it for what it was of. Like, it was just a simple, like, trying to be more of, like, a feel-good movie.
Yeah. No, I get what you're
yeah,
saying.
some of the stuff did, like, was creepy on the edge of that creepiness, and I was worried that it would stay that way, and I was worried that I wouldn't even like the body switching plot.
Yeah.
But I think if it wouldn't have went as deep as it did, then it wouldn't have been as good. I would have thought, okay, fine, it's, like, funny or whatever. But the fact that we also got those deep moments... I was like, wow, this movie actually is teaching you something.
Yeah.
It's teaching you, like, again, don't judge until you know, and I feel like that's, I don't know, it was really good.
Yeah, it did get deep. And
Like, if I watched this as a teenager, like, I would have, I think, even really liked it and related more. I just never watched it as a teenager, which I feel like I should have.
I mean, definitely the moments. I mean, it definitely did get deep. It did get emotional. I mean, I was almost getting emotional when she was having the final speech at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. I liked obviously the brother moment that she had with him. So yeah, I liked it in that sense. And once it
And the music was like
this
fun
would
to add
have
in.
been mostly focused on the mom and the daughter, and just the guys would have been left out. I feel like I would have probably really loved the movie.
We also did talk about the fashion though, because sadly I don't think that's.
I don't ever look at the fashion when I'm watching
Sadly, I don't think that's going to be something brought back, as from what I can see in the trailer, like the highlights and all that. But even her hair being highlighted, and then like her grunge, like kind of more outfits. It's more of like the cargo pants kind of thing, like military pants with like she had like the graphic tee, but and then when her mom, it was supposed to be her mom and her body, she wore kind of just like a basic black top, and then the dress at the end, even I liked it, like the silk purple dress. Like silk, I know was like a thing in those early 2000s movies. And so I liked her fashion even. But
yeah, Amber usually pays attention to fashion.
Yeah, I
more than
pay attention to fashion more. Which I haven't gotten to talk about fashion in any of these movies because Cinderella we talked about the dress, but Mufasa no fashion, Emperor's no fashion, The Gorge basically no fashion. So the fashion in this movie, finally, it was something I could say, like, oh, I like that outfit, I like that outfit.
Yeah.
Which is something our sister Alyssa, like, we talk about the fashion more. Yeah. And Alyssa even sent me a thing of Miley Cyrus's song, Start All Over. And she's like, was this supposed to be kind of a similar vibe? So let us know if you got that. Watch Miley Cyrus's music video, Start All Over.
Yeah.
And see, because I think she was trying to do something like that.
Yeah.
With the hair highlight and everything.
I just thought that's how she had her hair dyed at that time.
I don't think so. I think it was just for that music video. Yeah, I'm excited for Freakier Friday. So
no, I mean I'll be excited to watch it to see the differences. And like you said, I mean that's good. If it was woman led, maybe it won't be as cringy. Maybe there won't be those cringy moments. No. I think we need to watch the trailer after this though, so we can see what.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would press play again. You wouldn't press play again unless you're watching it with me or Alyssa.
Having out hopes for maybe the Freakier Friday to maybe be better. Oh yeah, next pick.
Oh yeah, next pick. I was like, what
we're missing something. So
next week is Arrow's week, and she's picking one of her favorites.
Jurassic Park, because the new one's coming out this year. So I was like, we need to.
Yeah, we kind of want to do the first ones at some point before the new one comes out, and we talk about the new one.
Yeah.
Arrow wants to pick the first Jurassic Park. At some point, I'm gonna pick the first Jurassic World. Yeah. And then there'll have to be the new Jurassic World.
Yeah, Jurassic World Rebirth. So, anyways.
Jurassic Park is very nostalgic. Arrow is huge. I think Arrow is putting the most work into this one, trying to get it ready and prepare to what she's going to say and, like, lead it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I mean, I've seen this 50,000 times, I feel like, in my life.
Yeah, me too. But I love this movie so much. I'm excited to talk about it. Thank you so much for listening.
You can leave us a comment on YouTube or Spotify, wherever you're listening, and tell us your movie suggestions, what you want us to talk about. Okay, yeah, so next up is Jurassic Park.
Let's press play.
Why are we delirious, bruh? Go again. I have one line.
No, say the line. We're getting in the giggles.